Okay guys, we are now going to start the actual pediatric doses. Every time you do pediatric doses, you have to remember several things, and you'll see this in your exam as well. They will always give the child in a pound. This child weighs 58 pounds, 22 pounds. You have to convert that into kilograms. In doing so, you have to divide it by 2.2. 58 pounds divided by 2.2, 25 pounds divided by 2.2. That will give you your kilo of the child. And then what pediatric gives you is dosage. You can give 15 to 40 milligrams per kilo. That means they're giving you a range. Between 15 and 40 kilogram child, you can give this medication, and this is the range of the medication. If it doesn't fall within the range, then you should not be giving that medication. If it falls within the range, then you give it. Let's say, for example, you're giving dilantin, and dilantin is below the range. What is dilantin? What does dilantin do? What is the medication for? Would you give them high doses or low doses? Please understand the medication dilantin and tell me, when you do my test, tell me whether you should be giving it if it's under or if it's over, and why not. That is something you need to understand about certain medications. So you need to know your medication to know the range. Sometimes they'll say you can give up to this much amount for the kilo child, up to this much. And sometimes they'll give you a range within minimum to maximum. That's the range they will give you. You can give the minimum amount, this is what you give, the maximum amount is what you give. And this is how we'll do these problems. So if you go to number 16, we'll work on that, and I'll show you what I mean by range. So we have creosine, 225 milligrams IV every 6 hours for a child weighing 58 pounds. Milligrams IV is ordered every 6 hours. How many times are you going to give if you are giving every 6 hours? That is something you need to know. Every 6 hours in 24-hour period means you are going to give them 4 times the medication. 4 times 225 times 4, because you're going to administer 4 times every 6 hours. And the child weighs 58 pounds. Let's do the first problem. What does the child weigh? The child weighs 58 pounds. And what did I tell you? With 58 pounds, you have to divide it by 2.2 to get into your kilo, and the amount is 26.36 kilos. This is how much this child weighs. You got that much. I hope you got that part. Now it says you have creosine 150 milligrams per mil. You have, if it's safe to give, then you calculate it with that, but we are not there yet. Here is the recommended daily dose. The recommended daily dosage for a child is 15 milligrams per kilo to 40 milligrams per kilo per day in divided doses of every 6 to 8 hours. We are already going to give it every 6 hours, so we don't have to worry about the very end part. But it's saying that you have to give 15 milligrams per kilo. Our child weighs 26.36, am I correct? 26.36 times 15. And then it says you can give to 40 milligrams per kilo. You have to multiply 26 by 36 to 40 kilograms. So this is 15 and this is 40. So the answer for this both is 3.95.4 milligrams. And here it is 154.4 milligrams. Got it? You're multiplying this because this is your child's weight, and you're multiplying 15. If I'm supposed to give it in 15 kilograms and up to 40 milligrams. So your dose, your range, your total range for this child is 395.4 milligrams to 154.4 milligrams. This to up to this much can you give. Now remember, it said that we are supposed to give 225 milligrams every 6 hours. So 225 milligrams, you're going to give it every 6 hours. In 24-hour period, you are going to give it 4 times. I hope you understand this. In 24-hour, so total milligram is 900 you're going to give. Is it within the range? Yes, it is. If you see that it falls below 10,000, it follows greater than 395. So this is within the range. This is a safe dose to give. This is within the range for the child to give the medication. Now, how much will you give? If you see that you have 150 milligrams per meal in your hand, and you're supposed to give meals, right? So now we actually do the calculation. How much are we going to give this child? So one meal is 150 milligrams. Am I correct? And you are supposed to give it every you are supposed to give 225 milligrams per dose. Am I correct? Of dose. So now milligrams and milligrams changes, and if you multiply all that together, it comes to 1.5 mils per dose. Are you understanding? You have done the first part. The first part you have to do is make sure you divide it by 58 by 2.2 to get your child's weight. You should never ever round up your child's weight. It should be as is. Do not ever round up a child's weight, because you can kill a child by giving them medication. Then you have to have a range. Your note says you can give from 15 milligrams all the way to 40 milligrams. So if I do 26 per 15, which is per milligram, it comes to this. 26 per 36 times 40 comes to this. So this is my range. 395 to 154,000 is my range. It is a safe range because the total amount I'll be giving the child is 900 milligrams. So if I do, now how much will I give? You know how much you're supposed to give. You're supposed to give in meals. So you're supposed to do one meal of 150 milligrams because that's what you have at hand. And you're supposed to give them 225 milligrams. So it's 1.5 mil per dose. Any questions? Please let me know. We are going to continue doing this problem, the rest of the problems.